morning. I want to talk about surviving. Why you cannot succeed if you're just in surviving. And I have a perfect example. In 1944, the USS Indianapolis was sunk by a Japanese sub. And the men all were in the water, being eaten by sharks. They were in there for several days. People gave up. They were trying to survive. And they interviewed all the men that survived, which was a few of them, and they asked them, how come you survived? And this is part of the what's in it for me. If you're just surviving, if you're doing everything by what's in it for you, you won't survive. You'll give up. So that's what these men were doing, was as they were treading water, trying to survive, they had to find reasons to survive. And the ones who couldn't find reasons eventually succumbed and sank and gave up. All of the men helped each other by trying to figure out what did they need to do to survive. And this is part of what's in it for me. They thought about their families. They thought about their futures and what their future would be like. They even made up their futures. They imagined what their future would be like. They talked about their family, their kids, and even the ones that didn't have children, they talked about what their kids would be like. So they talked about a future that never even happened. And that's what gave them the strength to survive. You can't survive on your own. You can't survive on what's in it for me. You have to survive on helping others. That's why the other thing was from them helping each other and helping them through that moment, those several days of terror and hell, being eaten by sharks, and trying to swim and survive in the water. So if you're going to be successful, you can't have a what's in it for me attitude. And you're going to have to be around other people who are going to help you imagine what your future could be like. Imagine the things that you'll be able to do and have. Imagine the family that doesn't exist now that you may or may not have. Those are the things that you have to put in front of you. You have to imagine how you can help people, what you can do. What about the story you'll tell when you get back? Those are all things that help people to survive. And it isn't a what's in it for me attitude. The ones that couldn't come up with reasons to live died. I think that's an amazing story of the USS Indianapolis that was sunk out in the middle of the Japanese, in the Japanese area of the Pacific on an unknown mission. Anyway, I think that's something that we should all ponder and think about. Not just what's in it for me, but what's in it for everybody else.